Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're on, well, a fascinating mission, really. Our goal for you, the listener, is to sort of pull back the curtain, see what makes truly engaging educational content tick. And we'll do this by looking closely at a language learning script. We're going to dive into this full 35-minute podcast script. It was expertly crafted, designed to teach English learners different, natural ways to express affection. Think of it like a shortcut for you to understand how to build content that actually sticks, the kind that turns information into real insight. We're talking foundational structure, clever techniques, the underlying pedagogical brilliance, basically the smart choices they made for how they teach effectively. Okay, let's unpack this. So let's start right at the beginning, the opening. How does this script, immediately pull you in? The original hosts, Marco and Erica, they don't just say hello, they instantly set this compelling stage, moving from a really common phrase, I love you, right into its nuanced, real-world alternatives. It's a masterclass in what we could call immediate relevance and emotional hook.
Yeah, and what's truly compelling there, I think, is how fast they make it feel personal, important. They're not just, throwing definitions at you. They're tackling something universal, expressing affection, that immediate connection to the listener's own emotional world. Plus, the promise of finding more natural language that's incredibly effective. It just instantly shifts your mindset from, say, okay, I have to learn this, to, oh, I want to learn this. This matters to me.
Exactly. That emotional hook feels key for almost any subject, wouldn't you say? Not just language. So, okay, they've got you hooked. Then they dive into the core vocabulary, things like, I care about you, you mean a lot to me.
And I've got your back, that one too.
Right, I've got your back. But here's the crucial bit. They don't just define them. They really paint a picture of when and how you'd use them naturally. They offer these simple explanations, a couple of clear examples for each. How does that setup really benefit the learner, do you think?
Well, the real genius there is in what we might call friendly scaffolding in real-world context. Instead of, dry dictionary definitions that can feel intimidating, they use these friend-like explanations, which just, significantly lowers the barrier to entry. Imagine trying to explain, I've got your back, straight from a textbook. It's just, It wouldn't land the same way,
It's
right?
Like awkward.
Exactly. So by providing specific natural situations, they're not just teaching words, they're teaching application. This builds familiarity, it builds confidence, and it's especially vital for English learners because it helps them grasp something subtle, that English speakers often express affection indirectly, softer phrases, maybe actions. It's this crucial piece of cultural intelligence, really, just wrapped up nicely in a language lesson.
That cultural touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't always get that from a textbook, do you? And it's just so important for authentic communication. So they've laid the groundwork, introduced the vocabulary. What's the next clever move the script makes? I noticed it shifts pretty quickly into a sample dialogue and then an analysis bit. Why is hearing the language in context just so much more powerful than only reading examples?
Well, this is where the learning truly comes alive. It's through immersive application and immediate debrief. So the original hosts, they perform this short, natural-sounding conversation, fictional characters, Alex and Sam, and they seamlessly weave in those new expressions. It's like a little mini play just for the listener.
Yeah.
And for a language learner, hearing phrases in a real dialogue with natural pacing, intonation, it's just a game changer. Reading alone just can't convey that kind of nuance. It's really the difference between, say, looking at a map and actually walking the path.
Exactly. You're not just memorizing. You're kind of experiencing the language. And they don't stop there, right? Immediately after the dialogue, they analyze it. They point out exactly where the new phrases pop up, explain why they fit in that specific moment, and then they dig into the tone, the emotion, the relationship dynamics. It's almost like having an expert guide walk you through a movie scene right after you've watched it.
Yeah, and that immediate analysis, it's absolutely critical for comprehension. That's the immediate debrief in action. It helps learners, connect the dots between the new words and their practical use. It really solidifies their understanding of context, of nuance, and then the fluency builder segment kicks in, which is another just brilliant example of targeted transformation. I take a basic phrase like, I like you.
Which can sound a bit flat sometimes.
Yeah. Right, and they show you how to upgrade it to something more natural, more emotionally rich, like, I really enjoy spending time with you. I've actually seen students struggle with just, I like you. It feels stiff.
Yeah.
But when they get, I really enjoy spending time with you, it's often like a light bulb just goes off. They suddenly sound more, human.
Yeah, it's those moments of transformation that make learning feel really exciting. Reminds me of finally nailing some nuanced phrase,
Yeah.
and feeling like you've unlocked a secret level or something.
Totally.
So this whole section, it encourages active listening
Yeah.
for nuance, emotion, tone. It shows English not just as, like, grammar rules, but as this powerful tool for human connection. Okay, so moving into the final part. The script shifts again. This time to cultural insight and situational practice. This feels like it's touching on a broader principle, maybe holistic understanding. The hosts explain how English speakers often show love through actions, not just words, everyday things, helping a friend, remembering birthdays, just being present for someone. Why is getting that cultural context so vital for a language learner?
Well, this brings up a really critical point about the value of cultural intelligence in language learning. Language isn't just words floating in space, right? It's deeply, deeply intertwined with culture. Understanding that, say, English speakers might express care through actions more often than grand verbal declarations. That bridges potential cultural gaps.
Huge gaps sometimes.
Huge gaps. It helps learners avoid misunderstandings, engage more authentically. Without that insight, they might learn the words perfectly but still miss the social cues entirely. It's about empowering them to communicate effectively, not just, correctly according to a grammar book.
That's such a huge takeaway. For anyone creating educational content, really, don't just teach the facts, teach the context where those facts actually live and breathe. Okay, so building on that, the script then dives into situational practice. They give scenarios, helping a friend move, comforting a sibling who's upset, and then suggest natural expressions for each situation. Even though it's podcast, just audio, how does this manage to invite active participation?
Yeah, it's a great example of active participation in low-stakes practice. Even in an audio-only format, these scenarios, they just naturally invite mental participation. You listen, you think, you respond in your head, you imagine yourself in these situations.
Right, you can't help it.
Exactly. It's not just passive listening. It becomes this kind of interactive challenge. And the hosts, they model such genuine empathy, such warmth while guiding you through these. That creates a really safe, motivating space for the learner to mentally try out the new language. They encourage, rather than just instruct. And then finally, the wrap-up, a recap of the key phrases and this motivational challenge to actually practice one that week, which is just crucial for reinforced retention and actionable challenge, makes it stick.
Okay, so let's bring this all together then. What does this deep dive really mean for you, the listener? Whether you're learning a language yourself or maybe trying to teach something effectively, this language learning script, it isn't just good. It feels like a masterclass in engagement. It just seamlessly combines natural spoken English, that crucial cultural understanding, high emotional intelligence, and honestly, a really fun, friendly delivery. It does feel like a blueprint.
Absolutely. And when you peel back the layers, like we've done, each of those three distinct parts serves a specific cumulative purpose. It builds. Part one, the immediate relevance, the friendly scaffolding that focuses on bit of initial familiarity, building confidence with the key phrases.
Getting you comfortable.
Exactly. Then part two, the immersive application, the immediate debrief through dialogue that shows how these phrases actually work in real life, which significantly boosts comprehension, understanding of tone. And finally, part three, the holistic understanding, the active participation with practice and culture, plus that actionable challenge that really pushes towards real-world use, deeper, more integrated learning. It just powerfully reinforces that core idea. Knowledge is most valuable when you understand it and can apply it. And this script just exemplifies really effective, thoughtful design in educational content.
It's truly incredible, isn't it, how a well-structured piece, even for something specific like language learning, how it can provide such immense value, so many potential aha moments.
Yeah.
It definitely reminds us that creating engaging content isn't just about, dumping information. It's about context, connection, and ultimately crafting a genuinely memorable, maybe even transformative experience for the learner. So here's something for you to consider, maybe mull over. Beyond just language learning, how can these principles of showing, not just telling, bringing abstract concepts to life? Through real-world examples, engaging dialogue, practical application, how could those be effectively integrated into learning across any subject or skill you want to master or perhaps teach?